Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to make this top. For this red top I am use Carbon Simply Soft. I use about 200 grams for size small. You can use any for medium width yarn of your choice. So now let's get started. We need stitch marker and scissors and a crochet hook, and I'll be using this yarn. I'll be using only one skein of this yarn for the yellow top that you see in this video. You can use any for medium weight yarn of your choice, and you can also use the recommended hook for your yarn. Okay, so I'm using 4.5 millimeter crochet hook for this top. Now what you are going to do, you are going to make a long chain. It doesn't really matter how many chains you make. Now all you have to do is, after you have a long enough chain, you mention it over your body, around your body, and don't make it too close, because we'll be closing this strap at the back side with a strap. We'll end up making a strap as you see at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to make a long chain, and I'm doing this in size small, so you can make it in any size you want. So this is the amount of chains that I have. I have about 40 chains here with me. I did not make it too long, just leave a little space like you see in this picture. We are using a strap at the ending of the day to close it at the back of our top. So after you have the amount of chains you want, you're going to skip the first chain. Into the next one you make a half double crochet, and then you put a stitch marker at the first stitch so that you will know where you will end when you start round 2. And then you will yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and into the next stitch make a half double crochet. So for this first round we are going to make half double crochet into every stitch. Into every stitch you have, you will make half double crochet. So I will keep on working half double crochet until I reach my last chain, and then I'll meet it back there to start round 2. Alright, this is the first round. It's only half double crochet for this first round. Now to start round 2, chain 1. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Turn your work, and then you will skip that chain 1, yarn over into the next stitch, go on to both loops, pull up a yarn into that stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then put your stitch marker, another stitch marker into that stitch, so you'll know where you will end when you start round 3. And then to the next stitch, go on to both loops, make half double crochet just like what we did for round 1. Half double crochet into every stitch. Do this until you reach your stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back at the end to start round 3. If you find this tutorial useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and leave a positive comment. Anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. So repeat this pattern until you reach your last stage, and I'll meet you there. Alright, I'm at the last stage, and I'll remove my stitch marker into that stitch, go onto both loops, make half double crochet. This is our second round for this pattern. Now we are going to start the third round, chain 1. It doesn't count as a stitch. Turn your work, and then skip the chain 1 into your next stitch, go on to both loops, make single crochet. Don't forget to put your stitch marker, and then into the next one, single crochet. So for this third round we are going to make single crochet into every stitch until you reach your other stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back there to start the next round. So repeat this until you reach your last stitch. Alright, this is how the third round looks like. Now we just finished with a single crochet into our last stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, and then you skip your chain 1 into the next stitch, go onto both loops, yarn over, and then make a half double crochet. Put your stitch marker in there, and then go into the next stitch, make half double crochet, into the next stitch, make half double crochet. So for this round you are going to work half double crochet into every stitch around until you reach your other stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back at the end to start the next round. Repeat this for this round until you reach your last stitch, and we are going to start the other round together. So when you reach at the last stitch, chain 1 and turn your work, and then skip your chain 1 into the next stitch, make half double crochet, and then put your stitch marker. And then work half double crochet into every stitch until you reach your next stitch marker. Now for this tutorial, we are going to make 2 rounds of half double crochet, and when you finish 2 rounds of half double crochet, then you will make 1 round of single crochet. So for this now, we are going to repeat round 1, 2 and 3. Okay, 2 rounds of half double crochet and then 1 round of single crochet. You are going to repeat this procedure until you have about 9 to 10 rounds, and then we are going to start decreasing our work. So this is half double crochet. I'm going to do this until I reach my stitch marker. So repeat this until you have about 9 and 10 rounds, and then I'll meet back at the end to start our decreases. Chain 1, turn your work. Don't forget that your chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so this round now is a single crochet. And when you finish this round of single crochet, your next round will be an half double crochet into every stitch, and then your next round is also going to be an half double crochet, which is 2 rounds half double crochets and then 1 round of single crochet. So this is the repeat for our top. So I will repeat this pattern, this process, until I have 10 rows of this, and then I will stop and start making decreases. Like I said, just repeat this round 1, 2 and 3 until you reach round 10, and then I'll meet you at the end. So this is how it's going to look like. You can see where my decrease starts. You can see that bump. This is where I start my decrease for this top, for this first top that I make, and we are going to do this together. So just repeat round 1, 2 and 3, and then I'll meet you back at the end so that we are going to start making our decreases and go on to the next step of our top. Now after I have my 10 rows, we are going to make a decrease. I end with a single crochet. Now my next round is going to be a half double crochet. You are going to make 2 stitch 1, just like what you see by going into 2 stitch make decrease, and then after that you're going to make half double crochet into every stitch. Don't forget to put your stitch marker into the first decrease stitch that you make. So make half double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 stitches remain, and then I'll meet you back at the end. Alright, I am at the end of my work. I have 2 stitches remain. I'm going to remove that stitch marker. Then you make decrease into 2 stitches, yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, and then you will yarn over, go into the last stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all loops. Now chain 1, turn your work. Again we are going to make decrease, yarn over, skip your chain 1 into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all, and then put your stitch marker in there so you know where you will stop when you start your next round. And then again make half double crochet into every stitch around until you reach your last stitch, until you have 2 stitches remain, and I'll meet you back at the end. Alright, when you reach at the end, I have 2 stitches remain, you have 2 stitches remain, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop into that stitch, and then yarn over again, go into the next stitch where our stitch marker is coming from, go onto both loops, and then pull up a loop in there, yarn over, pull through all, chain 1, turn your work. So now our next round is going to be a single crochet. Now skip your chain 1 into the next stitch, you will pull up a loop into that stitch, and then to the next one, go in there and pull a loop in out of that stitch, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then put your stitch marker. So now you will make single crochet into every stitch around until you have 2 stitches remain, and I'll meet you back at the end. And we're going to do the same thing we just did for the beginning for this round. Now this is the repeat. You are going to make decrease into every stitch. Now what you will have to do, as you keep on making decreases, you see that your work is becoming small. You will try your top over your chest, until you have the measurement of your chest, and I'm going to repeat this until I have the amount of measurement I want for my chest that can cover my chest, and then I'll stop decreasing. Go on to both loops, pull up a loop, and then you will make decrease. So 2 stitch will become 1. You chain 1, turn your work. Now our next round is half double crochet, yarn over, go into that stitch and pull up a loop, into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all loops, put your stitch marker, and then you will do this until you have 2 stitches remain, make decrease. So like I say, you keep on making decrease in every round you make, but as you keep on making decrease, try the top, place it over your chest, and see that it's okay for your chest, and the measurement is okay for your chest, and then from there you stop decreasing. So I'll put a stitch marker here. This is where I stop before I stop making my decreases. This is my 10th round, so this is where my strap holes is going to be. So that is where I'm putting stitch marker there, so I won't make a mistake at the end. So keep on making decreases until you have your chest measurement, and then you will stop making decrease from that point. So I'll keep on making decreases until I have my chest measurement, that can cover my chest properly, and then I'll stop making decreases from that point. So I'll just repeat this into every stitch, make decreases into every this beginning of 2 stitches and then at the end of 2 stitches. Alright, from where I stop, from my 10th round where I stop before I make my decreases, I have about 20 rounds of decrease rounds. So after that, I make 6 rounds of no decrease. I just walk into every stitch. I make 6 rounds with no decrease. So this is my last round. I end with half double crochet. So I'll go into that last stitch and then make a stitch, chain 1. So now at this point now we are going to work single crochet around our top to make it look neat. Into that first stitch, make a single crochet. Now you will make single crochet into every stitch that you have, so when you put first into the first stitch, into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and then you're going to the next stitch and make a single crochet. And then make decrease, single crochet into the next stitch, and then to the next stitch make single crochet. So this is what we are going to do for this side of our top, just to keep it neat. When you reach your decrease, this is where I stop making my decrease. My next round, 6 round rows does not have decrease. That is why I put stitch marker there, but you don't have to actually, you don't have to put stitch marker. So just make single crochet into every stitch you have around your top until you reach at the bottom. So I'll keep on working single crochet into every stitch I have at the side of my top until I reach at the bottom of my top, and I'll meet it back there. Alright, I finished working single crochet at the side. We are not making strap holes right now, we are just working single crochet into every stitch. And when you reach at the bottom of your top, you will go into every stitch that you have at the bottom and then make single crochet. Make sure you don't skip a stitch. Just go into every stitch and make single crochet. Put single crochet into every stitch until you reach the other side of the top, and I'll meet it back there. Alright, I'm at the other side of my top. I will just repeat the same thing I did for the other side. I will go into every stitch and work single crochet until I reach at the top of that stitch marker. So I'll work over this little yarn tail that I have already. I'll work over it as I work my single crochet. stitch marker, I will still leave it there because I want to know the exact point where I'm going to start making my strap holes. So just work single crochet into every stitch until you reach at the top, and I'll meet it back there to do the next step. Alright, this is how it looks like. And when you reach at the top, we are going to start making our first strap. Now you are going to just chain a long foundation chain, but make sure you don't make it too tight because we will be working at the back bump of our foundation chains. So for my strap, I'm going to chain about 130. That is the length I want. So just make long fun, but make sure the amount of chains you make for the first strap, should be the same amount of chains you will chain for the other side of your strap. So if I chain 130 for this first strap, it's going to be the same amount for the other strap. So when you have the amount of chains you want, you're going to skip the first stage, and then you will go into the next stage, into the back bump of our foundation chains, make a slip stitch, and then to the next stage, go into the back bump only, make a slip stitch, and then you are going to make slip stitch into every stitch you have, every foundation chains you have, going onto the back bump of our foundation chains only. So repeat this until you reach at the bottom where we start our foundation chains. So do this until you reach at the bottom, and I'll meet you back there. So when you get at the bottom of your work, do your last slip stitch, and then into the next stage make a single crochet. So for the top side of our top, we are going to work single crochet into every stitch. So work single crochet into every stitch until you reach the other side, and then we are going to do the same thing that we just did for this side. So the amount of chains I have here for my first strap is going to be the same for this other side of my top, and we are going to make slip stitch into every foundation chains. Alright, I'm going to repeat the same thing here. Whatever amount of chains you have is what you will have for the other side. So when you have the same thing, you are going down to the first stitch that we have when we make our single crochet at that side, and then make single crochet. Go into both loops. So which means we are going to make, at this point, we are going to make single crochet into every stitch that you have here until you reach at the bottom where we stop before we start making our decreases, and then we are going to make the strap holes. Make single crochet into every stitch. I'll meet you at this point where we stop, where we have our 10th rounds before we start making our decrease. So when I reach at that point, I'm going to make a single crochet into that round. I'll chain 2 and I'll skip 2 stitches. Into the next stitch I'll make single crochet and then a single crochet into the next stitch. I'm only going to need 2 strap holes and then chain 2, skip 2, make single crochet into the next stitch. And then from here now you're going to make single crochet at the bottom of your top until you reach the other side, and I'll meet you back there. Well, I'm at the other side. Put your last stitch and then into the next stitch make a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and then make a single crochet into the next one and then single into the next one, and then you will chain 2 and then skip 2 stitches and make single crochet into the next one. And then now from here you will make single crochet into every stitch until you reach at the top where our first strap is coming from. And I'll meet you back there. And when you reach here, this is going to be the end of our work. Go ahead into that little space you're seeing under our strap, pull up a yarn into that loop, into that hole, and then make slip stitch, chain 1 and then cut off the yarn. Now this is the end of our work. Cut off the yarn and then weave in the ends of your tail. This is what I got left with when I finished my top. So now both sides of this top look identical. They are both the same. So you can choose any side of this top to become the white side of your top. But for me, I'm just going to choose the one where the single crochet, the V's are facing me. I'm going to choose that side as my right side. So you can choose any side because both looks identical, as you can see. So I'm choosing this side to be my right side because this V stitch, I want them to face the right side. This is what I want. So you can choose any side of this top to be the right side of your work. It's up to you. They both looks the same. So you can adjust the strap. I know when you put it on, you can adjust the strap to the way you want it. So you just put it this way, cross them like this, and then you will attach them into the strap hole like this. I want to thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification button and leave a positive comment. And I hope to see you back into the next video. So for me, you can. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If there's any correction you need for me to make while making my videos, please don't hesitate to leave a comment about it. I would love to know your opinions.